Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's start off with this tweet here. And funny enough, as I am starting this video, we do see trending on Twitter, Gary Gensler resign, and I could not agree more with that hashtag. Honestly, as we are looking at things around FTX and even the SEC, I think that what Gary Gensler has done for the entire crypto industry is absolutely zero. They have done absolutely nothing in regards to ushering in a regulatory framework. They are not giving any sort of clear guidance to companies that do want to start crypto companies within the United States, and they do not want to have innovation continue within the United States. And it's absolutely disgusting what they will do to protect a legacy system. Now, we do see here from Bitcoin Magazine, Senator Loomis, it's starting to look like only Bitcoin would qualify as a commodity. Now, Bitcoiners, the Bitcoin maxis would love to tout this as a good thing, but I want everyone to understand that no amount of tribalism within this market is beneficial for this sector. Not only that, but Bitcoin, the only reason why they are not afraid of Bitcoin, it's funny because it's like a fight, right? If you were going into a fight and you knew all the cards were in your hand, you knew that your opponent was weak, they didn't really bring anything to the table, that you were efficient in every sort of, area of the fight, guess what? You're not going to be scared of your opponent. That's the same way that the legacy system, the people who run it, the monopoly players, it's the same way they look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin offers no competitive advantage to the legacy system. Bitcoin maxis will tell you all day long that, Bitcoin is sound money, that Bitcoin's this, Bitcoin's that. There's no benefits of utilizing Bitcoin. The reason why is because it's not efficient enough to bring any sort of major innovation to the payment sector. This is also why I've said that Bitcoin will never be utilized for financial innovation or any sort of major technological advancement. This is also why I say that tokens like XRP that are settled in 3 to 5 seconds, that are extremely green, they are sustainable, they are the key to the next major innovation, and Bitcoin maxis hate when you say that. But nonetheless, we do see over here from Eleanor Tourette over on Twitter, we do see interesting that even after the whole FTX official blow up and some lawmakers blaming the SEC, for the failure to prevent it, Gary Gensler still doesn't believe there's a need for crypto legislation. That's right. His quote here is, "The laws are there, the rules are there." It's absolutely despicable. And also, we have another quote over here. We could listen in on this video. This one's only 2 minutes long. The only reason why I didn't want to play this one is because this is like almost 4 minutes long of a video, and I don't want to waste your guys' time. But this one is really good on clearing up what was happening. So, Digital Asset Investor posted this and says, "This is why Wall Street sent Gary to MIT and the SEC. I'm assuming FTX was offering to share some of that with them." Listen closely to this.
I want to say one other thing. It would not be fair to all the market participants that comply today, the stock exchanges, the broker-dealers, the asset managers called mutual funds, and even the folks that are managing hedge funds today, that are complying, the market makers that are complying with their rules when they're trading and buying Apple stock or Ford Motor. Why should it be different here? And by the way, just replacing one central monopolist with another central monopolist, a lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now, part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there, and you give them the native token. So there may be other incentive ways to beat the current monopolist. But I, having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges, credit agencies. but they are deeply understanding, because they are pretty ambitious and very good at making money as well. They deeply understand that every idea that's pitched to them is somebody who currently is small but wants to get big and gain market power. So they're also always thinking about how to ensure that there's a check to slow down your startup from gaining market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now.
Wow, it's almost like you just described Ripple to the T there, and the SEC's motive for going after Ripple as well.
Now, they don't want you to be the next clearinghouse like the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or Intercontinental Exchange. They don't want you to be the next central node of market power. So you might share some of that with them, or you might find an incentive system.
So again, and I think that this is also a perfect example on why Ripple with XRP was targeted. You know, Ripple could very well, with RippleNet, have the next Ripple, I shouldn't say Ripple, but the next major clearing house. RippleNet, with what they have solved with the Ripple network and XRP through on-demand liquidity, is something so substantial in terms of like a technological advancement that I don't think that people actually realize. And it's comical, right? It's comical that we're at this current moment in time where you could clearly see the corruption and nothing is happening. Nothing is happening at all. In fact, we're still sitting idle. There's laws there. There's rules there. There's no guidance. We don't need anything around crypto legislation. Like, this is just, it's ridiculous. And we do see over here from Digital Asset Investor as well. This is a 37-second clip, but we do see Congress. This isn't going to cut it. His calendar is missing 4 months. Major MIT ties to FTX. Multiple meetings / planning sessions with FTX. GC of FTX worked for Gary at the CFTC. Screenshots below. Transparency and accountability is a two-way street. The people are pissed off. And listen closely.
According to your calendar, you met with now former CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, on March 29th of this year. Aside from that, had you met with him any other times? And what was your impression of him when you met with him?
Again, I'm not going to speak to anyone matters. I make, as my predecessors did as well, my calendar public. And we meet with market participants. And the basic message that I've had is the same public message as a private message. Come into compliance.
According to...
And again, here you guys have all of the calendar meetings. Here you guys have his meetings in 2022 and even 2021. And then over here, you also have the entire revolving door around the key players behind FTX. And then also over here, you have Tuesday, March 29th, 2022, meeting with IEX and FTX. And you do see all of the names tied to FTX. You have Sam Bankman-Fried, you have Brett Harrison, who was the president, Ryan Miller, general counsel, and also Mark Wetjen, head of policy and regulatory strategy at FTX as well. Very interesting. Then last slide over here. Here you guys have their experience as well. Again, CFTC, this legal counsel to Chairman Gary Gensler as well. It really is comical. You cannot make this stuff up. You could clearly see what's happening. And yeah, I mean, and I love that quote too. Again, I'm not going to speak to anyone matters. You know, my predecessors did as well, my calendar public. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It seems like he's on the ropes. He definitely is hurt. Something needs to give here, because it's really getting outrageous at this point on what the SEC is trying to do. And we do see down here from the Blockworks, they did quote that SEC chair, current securities laws don't need to adapt to crypto. And here we have Johnny Dean. Translation, I will continue to use law 1930s law and a case handed down in 1946 to protect the incumbent banking system at all costs. As chairman of the SEC, I will not provide entrepreneurs with guidance on how to comply modern-day blockchain technology to our incumbent regime. And yeah, that's all it is. That's all their plan is to protect the banking scene. They know that this technology will stifle what they are trying to do with our current legacy system, which is to eat up up as much profit as possible off of the backs of every individual that is transacting within the banking sector. Them controlling the monetary system is what they want. They want control. And we do see over here, zero hedge. And there it is. House Financial Services Committee Chairwoman Maxine Waters informed a group of Democrats that she doesn't plan to subpoena former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, CNBC. It is seriously comical at this point that nothing is happening with Sam Bankman-Fried. But we shouldn't be focusing on just him. You know, think about Do Kwon, right? Do Kwon, nothing happened with Do Kwon. I mean, like, what is happening around crypto right now? You know, they say that it's, it's because, you know, crypto is this, crypto is that. No, it's not. It's the fact that these policymakers are dragging their feet, dropping the ball, and they are not doing anything. In fact, they're saying that, all right, yeah, the current law system around crypto is 100%, you know, foolproof. Like, it works. Then how did you have FTX, right, slip through the fingers of regulators? They met with them. They discussed everything. I mean, like, this cannot... at this point, it's just one big show. We do see over here, Yahoo Finance. We're already suited up. SEC Gov Chairman Gary Gensler says on crypto crackdowns following FTX collapse, adding, I feel we have enough authority in this space. So it looks like there's going to be a big war on crypto. The entrepreneurs in this field have chosen it's a choice to try and skirt the law, whether they're setting up overseas and servicing overseas actors. But if they're tapping into the U.S. markets, they need to come into compliance. And then last but not least, we do see from Library, the thing that makes Gary Gensler an absolute psychopath is that he knows the forms required for a registered security, e.g. 10Q, cannot even be completed for public blockchains. It's literally impossible. Gensler knows this, and he takes advantage that the media doesn't. And yeah, I mean, like, this is a full-on war against crypto. They want to stop crypto. They want to attack crypto in every sort of aspect possible because guess what? At the end of the day, we are coming after the modern day banking system. We will attack it on all fronts and we will try to replace it. This technology holds a great power over the legacy system. The big banks are terrified, the players are terrified, and that is why we have these regulators trying to attack crypto on all fronts, trying to kill this entire asset class before it even blossoms to a much, much bigger asset class. Because guess what? $3 trillion was not our topping point. I know that this market has a lot more in store for it. And just like we've seen with technology in the past, the internet, and much more innovations beforehand, we will continue to grow. We will continue to expand. And guess what? We will make as much noise as possible. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.